What happened when someone who called you weak found out you were actually dying? My grandmother called me a pathetic hypochondriac for months, while my resting heart rate was triple what it should have been. She believed fitness trackers were turning teenagers into hypochondriac weaklings obsessed with meaningless numbers. She'd thrown my aunt's Christmas gift straight into the garbage disposal during dinner and ground the Fitbit to pieces while ranting about how checking your pulse every 5 minutes made teenagers invent diseases for attention. The exhaustion started in January and felt like drowning in reverse, where my lungs pulled in air that somehow never reached my blood. My legs turned to concrete every time I climbed stairs, but she watched me struggle and blamed it on my generation being physically pathetic. My hair started falling out in clumps in the shower drain, and my hands shook so bad I couldn't write legibly anymore. Whenever I mentioned feeling sick, she'd tell her church friends right in front of me that I was a dramatic attention seeker who thought every headache was a brain tumor. 2 weeks into February, my chemistry partner found me on the bathroom floor with my head between my knees because the hallway had started spinning. She pressed her fingers against my neck and jerked back like she'd been burned before ripping off her silver ring and forcing it onto my finger. "This looks like jewelry, but it's tracking your heart rate, and I'm putting the app on your phone right now," she said while typing her login credentials with shaking hands. "Your pulse feels like you're having a heart attack while you're literally sitting on the floor." The ring looked exactly like something you'd buy at any store, and my grandmother never suspected the plain silver band was recording every terrifying beat of my failing heart. Thursday afternoon, I reached for a glass of water and my arm went completely numb. The kitchen tilted 45 degrees and I slammed into the counter hard enough to send every dish crashing to the floor. My grandmother ran in to find me clutching the sink while my entire body convulsed and my chest felt like someone was squeezing my heart in their fist. "I need an ambulance because something is killing me from the inside," I wheezed through lungs that wouldn't expand while sweat poured down my face. She actually laughed while stepping over the broken plates to grab a broom. "You're having a panic attack because you probably read something scary online and now you think you're dying like every other weak teenager who self-diagnoses on WebMD." I grabbed her wrist with my good hand and tried to press it against my throat where my pulse was visibly throbbing through the skin, but she ripped away with genuine disgust. "Stop this pathetic performance right now because I'm not spending $3,000 for some ER doctor to tell you to try yoga." She looked me dead in the eyes while I clung to the counter to keep from collapsing. "You're a hypochondriac and a liar who makes up diseases for attention, and I'm done pretending to care about your fake medical emergencies." She walked out leaving me alone while black spots started eating the edges of my vision and my legs turned to water. I crawled to my backpack and pulled out my phone to check the Ring's app for the first time since my chemistry partner had installed it. The screen exploded with red emergency alerts showing my resting heart rate hadn't dropped below 145 in 3 days and was currently spiking at 173 while I lay on the kitchen floor. The app was screaming about immediate cardiac events with a massive banner saying, "Call 911 now," over data showing my heart working at triple capacity even while I'd been sleeping. I dragged myself back to the kitchen doorway and shoved the phone screen in my grandmother's face. Her eyes went from annoyed to horrified as she processed 3 days of impossible heart rate data proving I'd been dying while she called me a liar. She lifted me off the floor like I weighed nothing and basically threw me into her car while sobbing apologies and running every red light to the hospital. The ER doctor took one look at the Ring's data history and started screaming orders about thyroid storm and beta blockers. The test revealed severe hyperthyroidism that had turned my metabolism into a furnace, burning through my body so fast that my heart was days away from simply giving out. My grandmother stood frozen in the trauma room doorway, clutching that silver ring in her fist and staring at the heart monitor showing how her paranoia about fitness trackers had nearly let her watch me die on her kitchen floor.